Pilotwings 64 is a flight simulation video game developed by Nintendo for the Nintendo 64. Here's a development timeline highlighting key events in the game's creation. Development timeline of Pilotwings 64. 1993, early development. Following the success of the original Pilotwings on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo decided to develop a sequel for the upcoming Nintendo 64, leveraging its advanced graphics capabilities. 1994, concept and design. The development team, which included members from the original Pilotwings, began designing new gameplay mechanics and environments. The focus was on utilizing the Nintendo 64's 3D capabilities. 1995, prototype stage. Early prototypes were created, showcasing the game's flying mechanics and different vehicles. The team experimented with various flight controls and simulation elements to create a more immersive experience. 1996, official announcement. Nintendo officially announced Pilotwings 64 during the E3 Electronic Entertainment Expo in May. The game received positive attention for its impressive graphics and gameplay mechanics. 1996, development progress. The development team continued to refine the game, focusing on level design and physics. They aimed to create a variety of flying experiences, including hang gliding, parachuting, and flying a jetpack. July 1996, beta testing. A beta version of the game was tested internally. Feedback was gathered to make adjustments to gameplay mechanics, controls, and difficulty levels. November 1996, release in Japan. Pilotwings 64 was released in Japan on November 23, 1996. The game was praised for its graphics, control scheme, and diverse flying activities. February 1997, North American release. The game was released in North America on February 24, 1997. It received critical acclaim and was considered one of the launch titles for the Nintendo 64. 1997, post-release support. After the launch, Nintendo continued to support the game with various updates and promotional materials, highlighting its unique gameplay and graphics. Reception. Pilotwings 64 was well received by critics and players alike. Often regarded as a showcase for the Nintendo 64's capabilities, it helped establish a niche for flight simulation games on home consoles and paved the way for future titles in the series. The game's success led to its inclusion in later compilations and collections, reaffirming its status as a classic title in Nintendo's library. For many, Pilotwings Resort is a flight simulation game developed by Nintendo for the Nintendo 3DS. Here's a timeline of its development and key milestones. Development timeline. Early concept. 1990s, the original Pilotwings debuted on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, in 1990, and a sequel, Pilotwings 64. Was released in 1996 for the Nintendo 64. The franchise had a legacy of being well received but had not seen a new entry for over a decade. Announcement. 2009. Pilotwings Resort was announced during E3 as one of the titles for the Nintendo 3DS, showcasing the new system's 3D capabilities. Development. 2009 to 2010. Development was carried out by Nintendo's internal team, including some members who worked on previous entries in the series. The team focused on utilizing the 3DS's features, including the gyroscope for flight control and the 3D visual effects. Demo. 2010. A playable demo was showcased at various gaming events, allowing players to experience the flight mechanics and environments. Release date. March 2011. Pilotwings Resort was officially released in Japan on March 3, 2011, and subsequently launched in North America and Europe on March 27, 2011, and April 8, 2011, respectively. Reception. The game received generally positive reviews, with praise for its graphics and flight mechanics, though some criticism was directed at its length and content. Legacy. Following its release, Pilotwings Resort contributed to the 3DS's early library, helping to establish the system's capabilities. Although no direct sequel has been announced, The game remains part of Nintendo's rich history of innovative gameplay experiences. This timeline highlights the key moments in the development and release of Pilotwings Resort, marking its significance in the Nintendo 3DS lineup. For many,